Is there any car that you find nearly flawless? Because today, I've got mine. I'm Jack, this is where to go. Everyone, ZEEKR 007. So, keywords about this car, I think there would be easy drive and great cabin. This is the second top version with LiDARs, four-wheel drive, going over 500 kilometers with its 100 kilowatt hour battery, and it's priced at $38,000. Now, I'm not going to judge its look, but it definitely reminds me of some other faces. So, it has giant light bars both in the front and the back, and they really do some magic. It has light shows for different occasions, like if you're picking up your friends or families, this could be a great welcome to make them laugh. And you can even write things on it. And let's try it. Come on, draw something, anything. Hi? Yeah, very sweet. Very sweet. What's next? Oh, no. And the rear light bar is put in a clamshell trunk lid with all those wiggly little things. But I think the opening is a little bit too small, even for a compact car. Well, but this space I think is fairly okay. It's deep, and we got those storage space here. Yeah, overall I think it's okay. And since I said great cabin work, let's say cabin work. This car had made some major improvements in the cabin, and I will show you. Oh, by the way, very nice handle. Okay, so now this is me in the cabin. First thing first, very crazy leg space here. Actually, this is a C-segment car. Its wheelbase is even smaller than that on the oval one, but this doesn't feel like a C-segment car. This is me in the front, and I should say this is very adequate or even sufficient space for the back seat. And another thing is the adjustable back seat, which is a often absent feature for most cars in this price range. And please take a look at here. This is a very small detail, but I think it's a great sign of their empathy and their careful consideration during the development of this car. Is the lower back support. This put me in a very good position, which I would not feel pressured or uncomfortable at all. Except for that, there are hooks on both sides here for clothes. And take a look at here on the bottom of the storage space here made of rubber. There are two little slopes. So that will keep those things like bottles sliding around and making noises, which is really good considering. And here is improved glass roof, better heat insulation while the sunlight still gets through. So this is the back cabin. Now we'll move on to the front, but I assure you the front is just as good. So now we're in the front seat, and there's really good materials. All those really nice color schemes, black and gray, and all those Alcantaras on the ceiling, on the pillars. And the door and sofa is wrapped with Napa leather, offering really good friction. And look at here. The opening and closing of the lid feels really good. And here, makeup mirror. We see LED light strip. It's magnetic. So even though this is a 2024 model, actually the dash looks pretty standard. Little screen here and big infotainment display here. So this is not a rotating display like BYD's, but it waves at. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so this is actually a pretty informative display. Like if you're driving and you get too close to the surroundings, the cameras just pop out and it will show exactly where you are and how far you could go before hitting anything. And this little screen here, when you're driving, it shows pedestrians and cars. And watching this feels like playing an unfinished GTA. Yeah, that's kind of it. And if we get in here, we see this car has 4 heating seats, and the front two got a ventilation and massage, which should come in really handy in hot weather like this. And I think these are really friendly features for, I think, anyone that are looking for a really cozy, safe ride. And so let's get back to the steering wheel. This is pretty simple steering wheel. It does not have all those busy buttons here, but only 2 joysticks on both sides, which both have jobs to do. On the right, this one is for the volume and tracks, and on the left is for the tweaking of assistant drive and HUD. Yeah, this car has HUD, and this is very useful, very good HUD. So bright, it's brighter than that one on the 001. Thumbs up for them. So on the bottom here, we see 5 touch sensitive buttons for the fundamentals: auto parking, a door lock, 360 cameras, and the back trunk lid. That's the charging port. Yeah, but they could get improved, and we'll get there. So that's basically how the cabin is like. And before my big praise for the driving experience, there are something I want to address first. The first one is the sitting position. I could definitely use a lower position. That would definitely benefit the driving experience. That could just make it better. But I think that's a common issue for EV nowadays, because there's a battery underneath to lift up the floor, so there's not much we can really do. And the second one is the button. So these buttons are not like responsive. So if you're driving, you need to double check or even triple check to see if you're really on spot. And that could be really destructive, I think. And there's another distraction in the cabin, is this obvious reflection in the mirror of the stereo that they could fix. Last but not the least, I should really need some padding here for my leg. These stitches you see, it's kind of hurting and uncomfortable. So yeah, something like that. So now I want to tell you why I like this car. So the base stone is the weight and the size. This car offers really decent room for the passengers, but it won't get in the way of the driving. And I think that's really good. And it has a really good feeling of steering. Very small dead zone in the center, meaning the head is highly responsive to my maneuvers. I feel pretty confident through every curve, even with slight driving passion. And speaking of passion, this car has 2 motors generating 650 horsepower and 0 to 100 in only 3.5 seconds. Monstrous power, but with very strong posture control, you won't even easily notice the tire scratching or slipping. And I think that's a really great example of the matching between a good chassis and the power. So this car, it only comes with springs and the CDC shocks, no other fancy materials like air suspension, but I didn't feel underwhelmed at all during my test drive. Very good damping quality. And basically you can select different modes for your condition and demand. And I assure you, you can definitely feel the differences between comfort, sport, and standard. And just like I said, I love options. So overall, this is a tier 1 driving and cabin work car. Even though this car just launched a few months ago, but I think it has now been one of my favorite EV, even the most. So it doesn't happen to me every day, reminiscing about a test drive. So I think maybe next time. And just for information, there's definitely a lot more than just BYD. We'll catch up and you will see. I'm Jack, this is Vertigo. See you soon.